Storm Tracker 6. This is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We've got rain showers moving through mid-Michigan this afternoon. Not unstable enough for any thunderstorms, so this is just going to be a quick hitting burst of rain. Then it should be out of here fairly quickly this evening as this continues to move off towards the north and east. Temperatures held down quite a bit because of the clouds today. We're at 60 for Lansing, 57 in Jackson, same in Coldwater, but low to mid-60s Mount Pleasant northward. So we check out the forecast for tonight. Just expect those evening rain showers. Then if your plans take you out later than that, no problems with any rainfall out there. We're probably going to pick up around 1/10 of an inch, maybe a little bit more in spots this evening, but there is more on the way for tomorrow, and it's going to start out relatively mild once again with even warmer weather in our 6-day forecast. 6 News at 6 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 6.
On the heels of 2 incidents involving guns within the Lansing School District in the past week, the community is working to make change. It's our top story at 6. Thank you for joining us. I'm Siobhan Klepfer.
And I'm Jorma Duran. The most recent incident involving a gun was yesterday, just outside of Everett High School, resulting in 2 people getting arrested.
Rachel Ramsey is here for you tonight with a look at how the community is working to stop the cycle of gun violence. Rachel?
Yeah, Siobhan, Jorma, police say the student was found with a gun around noon yesterday after what the school is calling a hostile interaction with a family who was leaving the school. Police arrested the teen and charged him with carrying a concealed weapon and having a gun in a weapons-free school zone. Police also arrested 51-year-old Tamika Long, charging her with assault with a dangerous weapon, possession of a taser, and resisting police. Parents and youth advocates say when it comes to kids and guns, there's a systemic issue. School pickup at Everett High School was a little more tense for Alexandra Silva after she heard what went down the day before.
There's a gun in our school, there's fighting, there's adults acting like children on the premises. Like, that is just bonkers.
She says gun violence in the city is out of hand. Silva lost her nephew to it last year.
He will be forever 17.
Michael Lynn with the Lansing Empowerment Network is seeing it too. Just last week, a gun was found at Dwight Rich, a K-8 school. 5 days later was the Everett incident. Lynn's organization works to prevent youth violence.
If we affect change in the community, then it won't land up in schools.
And he is working with city officials to cut gun violence off at the root.
They'll carry a gun to school instead of just not going to school, where the problem might be at. That means they want to be at school, but don't feel safe at the school.
Lynn says it's about creating an overall environment where kids feel safe and can thrive.
We have a team now focusing on that.
Now, some parents are not happy with what they call the school district's lack of communication in situations like this.
Didn't get a call from the school, so I found out through social media.
Lynn reassures people, though, the district is actively working with his network and the city.
Digging those things apart and afterwards figuring out where we could have been better. Okay, we were good today, we want to be great tomorrow.
He adds, while there is room to improve, collaboration can solve more than pointing fingers.
It's a bigger issue that we need to be talking about. And I think if we don't correct the narrative and don't think about it correctly, this is how we just continue the cyclical, nature of it all.
Now, we did reach out to the district today, who says they are not commenting any further on these incidents other than what they have told parents. The Lansing Empowerment Network meets every Wednesday from noon to 1 and encourages parents to be a part of the conversation. Back to you.
Rachel, thank you very much. Down in Jackson County, a man gets arrested for child pornography. Police officers were called to the 500 block of Orange Street for a suspicious situation last night. They arrested a 51-year-old man for accosting a child for immoral purposes, possessing child sexually abusive material, indecent exposure, possession of narcotics, and violating his conditional bond. Official details on the incident are sparse right now, but stay with 6 News. We'll update you when we learn more.
Back in 2020, law enforcement arrested more than a dozen men who they say plotted to kidnap and kill Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
Now, President Donald Trump is considering giving the men who were convicted a pardon.
Of the 6 men charged in federal court, 2 were convicted and sentenced to prison. At a news conference today, President Trump confirmed his Justice Department is looking at pardons for those 2 men.
I did watch the trial. It looked to me like somewhat of a railroad job. I'll be honest with you. It looked to me like some people said some stupid things. They were drinking, and I think they said stupid things, but I'll take a look at that.
Several other of the accused plotters were convicted and sentenced to prison in state courts, but the president cannot pardon people for state-level offenses.
There was a protest this afternoon at the Social Security office in Lansing.
Yes, people called for members of Congress and specifically Representative Tom Barrett to protect Social Security from federal cuts.
Those potential cuts are part of the efforts by the Department of Government Efficiency to reduce federal spending. Supporters say they would eliminate waste and fraud within the Social Security system, but protesters today say the cuts will only threaten people's benefits.
With different things that have happened to me over the years, I've had 5 strokes and an amputation, so I need Social Security to maintain my life.
The Department of Government Efficiency has announced plans to cut 7,000 jobs at the Social Security agency.
Well, it is tick season in Michigan, meaning it's important to be aware of the risks associated with Lyme disease.
And with cases rising over the last 5 years, the Department of Health and Human Services wants people to know what to avoid.
Zach Parise spoke with them today. He's here for you now in studio with the latest. Zach?
In 2020, there were 452 Lyme disease cases right here in Michigan. Then 4 years later, there were nearly 3 times as many. But what can you do to stay safe? Well, I spoke with experts to find out.
Last year, there were more than 1,200 cases of Lyme disease here in Michigan, up 168% from 2020.
A lot of variables go into increasing Lyme disease cases. Some of the variables that could go into it are ticks are surviving the winters better, the behavior of humans just going out more, going into heavily forested areas where ticks are going to be.
There are 5 main types of ticks in Michigan, but only one of them carries the disease. According to the state, 2023 data shows black-legged or deer ticks account for 20% of all ticks in Michigan, and they can carry Lyme disease.
Ticks like shady, moist areas, wooded and tall grasses, like you said, tucking your pants into your socks or your shirt into your pants and using EPA-approved insect repellents.
That's why it's important to avoid tall grass when possible and do tick checks on yourself and your animals when you get inside. Experts say ticks usually have to be attached for at least 36 hours before the Lyme disease bacteria can enter your body. And if that does happen, symptoms may not show up for a while.
I suggest if you've been bitten by a tick to watch for signs and symptoms up to 30 days. They're going to be the classic bullseye rash that everyone hears about, a fatigue, fever, headache.
And other symptoms can include a red oval-shaped rash, muscle aches, or even flu symptoms. And if it is left untreated, it can actually cause changes in heart rhythm or even arthritis. If you find a tick somewhere on your body, you can send pictures of it to MDHHS, and we have a link at WLNS.com/Scene-on-6.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Although it was cool out there today, it was still nice enough and dry enough that you could enjoy some outdoor time. Now the rain has moved in, but this pic from earlier, love to see these this time of the year. The eagles flying around. This is from Nicholas in Lansing. You know, you got to be lucky sometimes to catch them, but they're out there. If you keep an eye to the sky, you'll eventually see some. There are a couple in the Grand Ledge area we see from time to time up and down the river, so very cool. Love to see some more weather pics or eagle pics or anything else for that matter, weather related. Just upload yours at WLNS.com/share. Doppler radar shows the rainfall moving through. It's through the Jackson area now and about to move into downtown Lansing, so a quick burst of rain. It won't stick around all that long as this continues to push to the north and east with an area of low pressure. Our 5-day rainfall outlook, there is more rain in the forecast, heavy to our south, but really not all that heavy here in mid-Michigan. Our day-by-day breakdown, slight chance of a few showers out there tomorrow evening, and then again Friday afternoon there may be a few rain showers. They will move out for the weekend. Monday I've got to watch out for. It looks like to me this system's going to end up further west, so we've kept rain chances really low, but we'll keep an eye on that as temperatures by Monday will top out close to 80 degrees. Our satellite and radar today shows our band of rainfall shifting to the north. Precision Cast has it out of the area by early tomorrow morning, so a dry start at 7 o'clock. And anything we see tomorrow should be widely scattered. I don't think there'll be much rain out there, so outdoor activity should be in fairly good shape. Moving ahead into Friday, we've got an area of low pressure to the south. and we've got a cold front to our north. Between those two will eventually increase the rain chances Friday evening, but it's probably going to be this cold front which sparks a few afternoon or evening showers and storms. Temperatures currently are on the cool side, 59 in Charlotte, 58 for Jackson, still 60 in Lansing, 61 in Owasso. On the Skyview network, you can see the showers now beginning to roll in on our McLaren cam. Temperature at 62 degrees, no rain so far, but it's moving in as we speak. Winds today not all that bad, 20, 25 miles per hour. In Grand Ledge, the showers just moving in as well. We're waiting for it to register in the rain gauge. We're down to 61 for our current temperature. On the Jackson cam, the rain shower just moved out. Temperature at 58 degrees, 407 inches of rain, so pretty light totals overall. Same thing in Hillsdale. The rainfall totals less than 507 inch with 300s actually. 60 was our high, 58 the current temperature, and the low this morning only down to 54, so not much temperature turnaround today. Tonight's forecast, 53 the overnight low as showers move out early. We'll keep the clouds around tonight. Then for tomorrow, temperatures again on the cool side, topping out in the upper 60s with a few showers possible in the late afternoon. The 6-day forecast over the next 6 days, temperatures a little cooler for the weekend, but sunshine. Then next week, the heat turns up pretty quick, near 80 on Monday, mid 80s for highs Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Overnight lows in the 60s, which means it's going to be humid. Some afternoon pop-up showers and storms. Next weekend looks okay as temperatures drop back into the upper 70s.
Very June-like weather coming up, right on time.
Here comes summer.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.